That's a party. Do you know why? $10,000 subscribers, baby. Come on, down. Yeah. Let's take a look at that. Come on, zero in. Yeah. 10,034. Oh yeah, that's the reason to have a party right now. Come on. What do you think, Dr. Singer? Umi? Yeah. Mr. Bean, I already know you're dancing. All right, let's get some lights on. Man, oh man, 10,000 subscribers! That's just a little bit of crazy. All right, I'm gonna sit down. I worked up a little bit of, woo! The old heart is racing a little bit after that little dance move thing I was doing there. So let's zero in on what's happening on this workbench over here. We've got everybody out here, except for Dr. Singer's niece and nephew. They're kind of just chilling back there doing their own thing like they usually do, which is fine. Hey, Umi, Dr. Singer, and the whole gang, all the boys are here. All the boys are here. I'm going to come out on this shot a little bit and then plunk down for a little bit and kind of catch my breath after that little dance party we had. But you know what? Why wouldn't you have a dance party when you hit a milestone of 10,000 subscribers? Particularly, I've got to lean way in here. The camera's kind of crooked. Let me straighten it. Hold on a second. There we go. Now I don't have to lean quite as far. So what I was getting ready to say is, why wouldn't we celebrate 10,000 subscribers? But you know what? Particularly when you're talking about a niche space like vintage sewing machines. I even get people sometimes when they say, well, what do you do, Scott? What's your thing? And I say, I restore vintage sewing machines. And they go, is that still a thing? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, quite a bit. All around the world. This YouTube channel, and I've said this before, has about 126 countries that follow what we do here. That is a passionate following. It might be a smaller group. I mean, we're not talking like a mainstream, contemporary type, yay, chick, let's follow this, blah, 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 where you have like 1 million+ subscribers and it's pretty common. We've got a niche group of 10,000 subscribers right now, 10,034, that are saying, this is something that I'm passionate about. This is something that I love. This is something that I'm into. This is what gets my groove on. You know what I mean? And so to hit that milestone is huge. And I talked to you guys about this for probably months now, about what's the significance of when we hit 10,000. What are we planning on doing? Well, what we're planning on doing is, we're planning on doing a fundraiser to benefit the folks down at the History Museum in South Bend, Indiana. I think I told you more than once when I was down there, Christy Dunn, she said, Scott, during this pandemic, more than 30% of the museums across the country have closed their doors. And I said, gosh, that's horrible. When are they reopening? She said, they're not. So over 30% of the museums across the country have closed their doors, and those doors are going to stay closed. So if you happen to be in one of those communities that lost your museum, it's a tragedy. And we don't want that to happen to the good folks down in South Bend, Indiana. If you follow me faithfully, you watch all of those premieres talking about my visit to the History Museum, looking at all the artifacts that they prepared for me, going over to Kopsche Home with Skylar and visiting the Oliver Mansion. and having a chance to tour that fabulous structure as well, and then going over to the actual Singer cabinet plant that at its heyday was making 10,000 cabinets a week? No, a day. 10,000 cabinets a day. And they were averaging 2 million a year as far as their production. That's absolutely insane. So that just shows you what a buzzing place that was back in the 1860s when it opened up until around 1955 when it closed its doors permanently. And when I was down there, I had the privilege of walking the halls of that actual building that was that cabinet factory. And if you follow me, you already walked that building with me. If you didn't, go over and check out those videos so you can appreciate the incredible visit that I had down to South Bend. I mean, all those different facets. It was just incredible. It was life-changing. And the hospitality of those folks is really it transformed my outlook on museum people. I mean, I had my own presuppositions like a lot of people do about museum people. And when I was visiting with Kat and with Christy and the others down there, we even joked about it a little bit. You know, museum people are real stoic and stuffy and cold. Nothing could be further from the truth. They are warm, they are kind, they are generous with their time. And that's really when I was wrapping up my trip down there, that inspired me to say, I want to do something to give back to them. I want to do something to make sure that they don't end up on that list of museums that have permanently closed. And the incredible travesty that would be to the South Bend, Indiana area. And they get folks just like me that come in from other states as well to visit their incredible museum. So we want to make sure that that doesn't happen. So this whole driver of hitting this milestone of 10,000 subscribers is going to be centered around those folks in South Bend, Indiana. And it's also going to be centering on this historic brick that you can see right here that all of my friends in the workshop have surrounded to protect, because it's a priceless treasure. It has this incredible historical significance. It's a 160-year-old brick, one of the bricks that actually were used to make that incredible edifice, that incredible structure of that Singer cabinet factory that stood from the 1860s all the way until 1955. And if you're willing to donate just $100 to the History Museum in South Bend, Indiana, and I've got a limited supply of these bricks. I don't have unlimited supplies. I don't. So if you're one of the first ones to jump in and say, yeah, I want to make sure they don't close their doors. They treated Scott like royalty when he was down there, and we want to pay it forward. And plus, I want to get one of those really cool 160-year-old historic bricks that actually comprise that building down there. And I want to keep it in my sewing room so that when people come to my sewing room, I can say, hey, look what I got. You don't have one. You know what I mean? It's bragging rights. I mean, not everybody, very few people, I mean, this many people are going to be able to say they have a 160-year-old historic brick that comprise that incredible cabinet factory in South Bend, Indiana. I mean, it's going to be like a unicorn. You're getting a unicorn right here. And all you need to do is donate $100. Now, I'm going to give you an added incentive. Not only do you get a historic brick if you make that donation, not only do you help an incredible organization with Brian, the new executive director down there, with Christy, with Kat, and all the other great folks that you met through those premieres down there. I'm getting so excited I can't even talk. But you also help an incredible organization out. You help an incredible organization, you get a historic brick, plus you get entered into a contest to win one of my fully restored, priceless sewing machines. You guys know what kind of sewing machine I put out. It's about as rare and as precious as this unicorn of a brick right here that all the gang is surrounding right here. And if you make that $100 donation, you get entered automatically. They're all set up down there. They're all set up to collect your name, to collect your information. Matter of fact, let me show you real quick. I even printed this out so I wouldn't mess up and give the wrong phone number. Their hours of operation typically are Monday through Friday. I think they have Saturday hours as well, but let's just say Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All you need to do is call this number and say, hey, I'm calling because I want to donate to that Cow Country fundraiser. Can you help me out? And Brian already said they're set up. They're ready to rock and roll, get it done quick and easy. They have a secure way of collecting your credit card information. You can make that donation like a hiccup. You get entered to win one of my fully restored machines. Plus, you get one of these incredible historic 160-year-old bricks. And all you need to do is call this number right here. Write it down right now. Write this number down right now and call it first thing Monday morning, so that you can be nearly guaranteed that you're going to get one of these historic bricks while they last. And also you can get entered into the contest. Again, behind door number 1 in honor of J.D. Oliver. Again, this whole month right now in February is going to be centered on the Olivers' historic legacy. The whole driver of what the History Museum is doing this month in February is going to be centered all around the Olivers. Go to their website and check it out. I mean, it's going to be a big, talk about a party. It's going to be a party celebrating what J.D. Oliver and his whole family represents down there to the South Bend area. Their legacy, incredible legacy of what they did. And by the way, their whole legacy is originally built around an incredible cold plow or something like that they developed to help farmers out. Now think about it. Cow Country vintage sewing machines and restoration, J.D. Oliver having roots to helping the farmers. Hey, a marriage matched in heaven. It's perfect. And that's why, I mean, it feels right to do this. It feels right to do this. So call that number. Call it right now. I mean, if it's Monday, call it right now. If it's Sunday or something like that, don't call them right now. But area code 574-235-9664. You can call that number and make an easy donation to help these folks out. $100 will get you entered into the contest and get you a brick. For every $50 you make beyond that, for every $50 you make beyond the $100 donation, it's going to get you an additional entry into the contest to try to win one of my fully restored machines. So you make a $150 donation. How many entries is that? Type it in the chat. You make a $150 donation. How many entries are you going to get to possibly win either that Scottish machine behind door number 1, which could be a 222K, the featherweight of featherweights, or behind door number 2, you can win a 201-2, the Rolls-Royce of Singer sewing machines, which is exactly the same machine that Skylar showed me up in that sewing room in the Oliver Mansion. These are millionaires, folks. They could have gotten any sewing machine that they wanted. No, I mean, money's no object. And they picked the Rolls-Royce of Singer sewing machine, the 201-2. And that's why on top of this historic brick, I've got my Rolls-Royce sitting right on top of it to remind you just how incredible the Rolls-Royce of Singer sewing machines is. You know, I coined that phrase over 10 years ago, and now everybody around the world, when they talk about the 201-2, they're using those same words that I spoke for the first time around the world over 10 years ago, the Rolls-Royce of Singer sewing machines. So whether if you're the winner, number 1, wow. If you're the winner, wow. But if you're the winner, you can either kind of roll the dice and say, I want to go with that Scottish machine that's behind door number 1. I don't know what it is, but it could be a 222K, the featherweight convertible, the featherweight free arm, the featherweight of featherweights. But Scott said for sure it's going to be a fully restored Scottish machine in honor of, Mr. Oliver, who came from the small village of Copshahome in Scotland. And that's why I decided to do that behind door number 1, is to give folks just a tantalizing, tempting proposition. You're going to get a Scottish machine fully restored, and it could be the 222K featherweight. Now, if you know anything about 222Ks, you know that the only place that they made them was in Scotland. So that whole window number 1, door number 1, blah, 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 is centered around honoring J.D. Oliver, who came from Scotland. And that's why I said I got to do something to honor him, you know, especially recognizing that the month of February is going to be honoring the legacy of the Oliver family. We got to do something that's centered around Scotland. So again, you know, you make that donation. It's real simple. Call this number. It's a credible, trustworthy number. I got it directly from the executive director of the History Museum, Brian down there, my new bud, the new executive director that is just incredible leader in really taking these folks to the next level, along with all the other leaders that are involved as well. And he said, Scott, have them call this number. We're all set up. We're ready to receive credit cards if they prefer. They can do it the old-fashioned way and mail a check in. We'll tell them exactly what to do. But it's so easy. You just call this number. You say, hey, here's my credit card number one. Enter me into this cow country contest. I want to get a brick. I want to help you folks out. And I want to potentially win one of those fully restored machines that are absolutely the unicorn of unicorns when it comes to vintage sewing machines that come out of that little workshop in Oconto, Wisconsin. So make note of this number. Between Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Give them a call. Get entered. Don't wait too long. And then all of a sudden I say, well, this summer I'm going to go back and visit those folks and try to tour that third floor in that Singer cabinet plant. My bud down there, Anthony, is going to walk me through that area, I hope. But don't wait and don't roll the dice on that possibility. Get entered into that contest right away and grab one of these bricks that I already have. A limited number of these bricks so that you can get one of these historic bricks for your sewing room. You can get entered into the contest, and most importantly, you can help these folks out in South Bend, Indiana. Right? Yeah, why not? So I'm just going to go over to the computer real quick. If you want to check them out more before you make that donation, you know, if you're one of these people, you like to check things out. Let's go over to the bubbles first of all. But if I get those bubbles to stop being bubbly for a second, you're going to be able to see the landing page for their website. It's the History Museum of South Bend, Indiana. And if I refresh this page, you're going to see that their whole deal right now in the month of February is going to be driven around celebrating the legacy of the Olivers. So could there be a better time? There it is right there. World famous, the Olivers and the American Dream. And again, that American Dream was built around developing this special plow. I think Skylar told me it was a cold plow or something like that, or a chilled plow, something to do with cold. And because J.D. Oliver came up with that incredible invention, that's really what made their millions. And then they did other things beyond that. But the whole deal for the good folks around the History Museum of South Bend, Indiana during the month of February, let's go up to their logo. The whole deal for them during the month of February is going to be celebrating that Oliver legacy. And so could there be a better timing for us to reach that 10,000 subscriber milestone to help these folks out as they celebrate the legacy of the Olivers, who, again, out of any sewing machine they could have bought as millionaires, they chose the Rolls Royce of singers. And that's why this whole thing is being built around, this whole thing is being built around helping these folks out. But it's being built around as well the fact that one of the two doors that you could pick, if you're ultimately the winner, and the way it's going to work, and I know I'm all over the place, so just reel me back in, and I need to be more chilled like Harold Burmeister and like the pirate. So, taking a real deep breath. All right, I'm chilled now. I'm semi-chilled. We've hit the milestone of 10,000 subscribers. That triggers this fundraising effort to benefit the good folks down at the History Museum in South Bend, Indiana. So what you do now is you call them at that number that I already gave you, the 574-235-9664. I'm going to show that to you probably a bazillion more times.
You call them and you go, hey, this is so and so from such and such a state or country, and I want to donate to that Cow Country fundraiser. Because number one, I want to help you folks out. Number two, I want to get one of those historic 160-year-old bricks that were used to build that incredible cabinet factory that ran again from the 1860s until 1955. I want one of those bricks. I do. But I also want to help you folks out. But you know what? Truth be told, I also want to get my name entered into that Cow Country contest where I can win one of Scott's incredible priceless fully restored sewing machines. Okay? That's really, I mean, that's probably, that's the unicorn right there. We got a lot of unicorns going on here. A lot of unicorns. 160-year-old brick, incredible organization that we can benefit, and also we can also win potentially one of Scott's unicorn fully restored sewing machines. Again, if you're the winner, I mean, ultimately these names are going to be collected by the good folks down in South Bend, Indiana. I'm probably going to get on some sort of a video conference with either Brian or Christy or the whole gang down there maybe, and we're going to have some sort of a container, a hat, whatever, that they're going to drop all the names into of people that have donated to benefit this great organization and to get a brick and to get entered into the contest. And that name is going to get pulled out. And if it's your name, you're going to have a choice. It's going to be like winning the lottery, because you're either going to say, I want what's behind door number one. I want what's behind door number one because it could be a fully restored 222K. And folks, if you know anything about anything, you even go to these 222K sellers on eBay, and these are not fully restored 222Ks. Do you know what the average asking price is for one of those featherweight convertible free arm machines? Right around $2,500. So even rolling the dice and saying, I don't know for sure it's going to be a 222K behind window or door number one, but with the possibility of winning a machine that even at the generic bare bones, I have no idea what's been done to this machine level on eBay. I know there if I want a 222K, I'm going to be paying $2,500 at least. To get one of Scott's fully restored 222Ks, if that's what that machine ends up being, we're talking about a machine that is worth somewhere between $3,000 to $5,000. What kind of prize is that to potentially win? And if it's not that machine, it's still going to be a spectacular Scottish machine, because again, I'm doing that to honor J.D. Oliver because of his roots to Scotland. Yeah. Or you can say, I'm not a gambler. I'm going to come out of this shot. Because as cute as those folks are, you want to also look at my cuteness too. Yeah. So you can either go with, kind of a gamble, door number one, window number one, whatever you want to call it. Go for that fully restored Scottish machine, which could be a 222K. Again, even the mediocre ones being sold on eBay that have not been fully restored, they're asking around $2,500 for those. So you compare something like that to my unicorn of a featherweight convertible, a featherweight 222K, $2,500 versus mine, which I would value somewhere between conservatively $3,000 to $5,000. You could possibly win that, but it's not a for sure thing. It's going to be a Scottish machine, but not guaranteed it's going to be a 222K. But you can go with door number two, and you can be guaranteed you're going to get the same kind of machine that the Olivers used in their mansion, a 201-2, the Rolls-Royce of Singer sewing machines. So this is probably, I can't even say how phenomenal this contest is. You benefit a great organization like the folks down in South Bend, Indiana. You get a historic brick if you jump on this early and fast before the bricks run out. A 160-year-old brick that actually came from that building, that cabinet building that in its heyday was making 2 million cabinets a day. 2 million cabinets a year. I'm really overstating that. 2 Can you imagine 2 million cabinets a day? 10,000 cabinets a day is crazy unto itself. But 2 million cabinets a year is what they were doing. I mean, that just blows me away. Just blows me away what they were able to do. It's just crazy. And I mean, but to get a brick like that, to have in your sewing room, friends come over, family come over, fellow sewers, fellow quilting retreat folks, whatever it is, you are going to be the envy of envies having a brick like that in your sewing room. And I know a number of you have already reached out and said, I want that brick. I want that in my sewing room. I'm going after it. I'm going to be one of the first ones donating. So it's simple. It's simple as falling off a log. Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. I've been so excited I've almost worn my voice out during this premiere. Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Call this number. They're all set up. They're all ready to go. Brian said we're ready to rock. Your folks call, say they're donating to the Cow Country fundraiser. We are going to securely collect their credit card information if that's how they prefer to pay. Or we can tell them what they need to do to mail a check in. Obviously, with United States Postal Service running like a snail right now, it's so much easier and faster. Plus, then it doesn't hit your budget for 30 days. Just make a secure donation through these folks by calling this number. And they'll collect all your information. They'll write your name down. They'll let me know that you've donated. And through this whole process, I'm going to be announcing the people that have donated. So you're going to be like a rock star. Not only have you done the right thing in helping a great organization like this, not only are you going to get a historic 160-year-old brick, not only are you going to get entered into a contest to win one of my unicorn vintage fully restored sewing machines, but you're also going to be, you're going to be popping up on the radar over and over again through premieres where I'm going to say, let me tell you who my rock stars are. Let me tell you who my champions are. Let me tell you who my legacy people are that are stepping into the light and saying, I want to be counted. I want to help out this great organization. Plus, I want to get a brick. Plus, I want to potentially win one of Scott's unicorn fully restored vintage sewing machines. Oh, yeah. So you got this number, folks. Monday through Friday, they're waiting for that call. They're hoping for that call because they don't want to end up on that list of museums that close. They don't want to be in that 30% factor. I haven't talked to Christy for a while. Maybe it's even more by now because this pandemic has just kind of lingered and carried on. Maybe it's up to 40% of museums across the U.S. right now have closed their doors permanently. Folks, don't let that happen. I know that you are incredibly passionate, committed, caring folks. Prove it and call this number. Make your $100 donation. And again, if you really want to increase your odds of winning one of my unicorn fully restored vintage sewing machines, either that unknown Scottish one behind door number 1 or that 201-2, the Rolls-Royce Singers behind door number 2, then you can make more than a $100 donation. If you make a $100 donation, you get 1 entry into the contest. If you make a $150 donation, you get 2 entries. Every $50 donation above the $100 threshold, you get an additional entry. And I'm not a mathematician. You can do the math probably quicker than I can. But you make a $100 donation, 1 entry, $150, 2, $200. Had to do the math there. You can tell I'm not a math guy. $200 donation, you get a total of 3 entries, isn't it? Yeah, 100, 150, 2. Yeah. So, go nuts. Go nuts. You're probably going to get that stimulus check. You may get a tax return, so it doesn't impact your budget. You can dial this number and make a very generous donation and get multiple entries into that contest to win one of my unicorn machines. How crazy and freaked out will you be if that Scottish machine ends up being a 222K and you're the winner? A machine that is valued somewhere between $3,000 to $5,000. Yeah, I think that would make your day. All right. So again, 574-235-9664. That's the number that you need to call to make a difference. And also to get a super cool historic brick, to get entered into winning one of my unicorn machines. And most importantly, I think above and beyond everything, to help these folks out down in South Bend. Can you do that? Are you able to do that? Type in the chat if you're gonna rock this. Type in the chat if you're gonna make this happen. Type in the chat if you're gonna bring it home. If you're gonna do it Brooklyn style. Boom, get it done. Get it done. Get it done. Okay? And again, if you want to go above the $100 threshold and make a $200 donation, make a $300 donation, you're only going to get one brick. But every donation amount above that $100 mark in $50 increments, you're going to get an additional entry into that contest. You guys know what it's about. I mean, if your name is in that hat more times, you are more likely to end up being that winner. So I'm hoping that some of you just go crazy with this and say, $100 donation? That's like a hiccup. I'm going to give $500. I'm going to give $1,000 to help these folks out. Well, if you give $1,000, I'm not even going to try to crunch those numbers. But just figure you're going to get an entry for the first 100, and then for every $50 increment going up to that $500 mark or that $1,000 mark, you're going to get an additional entry for every $50 above that $100 threshold. I mean, your name is going to be like burying everybody else's in that hat. And when either Brian or Christy reach in there, or Kat or one of the other good folks down there reach in that hat, your name is going to be in there so many times, it's going to be like, whoop, done, done, done. Yeah. So you get the idea. You're smart. And if you have any questions about this contest at all, you can always reach out to me. You can always reach out to me, but it's a real simple contest. Call those folks at that number, the 574-235-9664. 574-235-9664. Give them a call Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and make that $100 donation or more and get entered into this contest. And they will let me know, okay, these are the folks that donated this week, and then I will get those bricks heading towards you. As long as they last, I'm going to keep mailing bricks out. And that's something that I'm willing to pay for, mailing those bricks all over the country, because it's going to be something that you can put in your sewing room or put it up. Some people even said they're going to put them up on their mantle. I mean, it's that cool of a brick. How many people have a 160-year-old brick that they can say, you know, if they're a vintage sewing machine passionate person, they can say, I've got an original brick from that Singer cabinet factory that was in South Bend, Indiana from the 1860s to 1955. That unto itself would be the cat's meow. Plus, then you get entered into this incredible contest to win one of my unicorn machines. And again, to help out the folks in South Bend, obviously, as well. So I'm saying it over and over and over and over again like a broken record, because repetition is what works in the classroom, and that's what we have here. Repetition is what, you know, someone can listen to a commercial, and that's why they repeat the phone number 3-4 times. Whether it's on the radio or on TV, they'll say that number over and over and over again, or that business name over and over and over again, because we are just inundated with messages all day long, and we get overwhelmed. So the more we hear something, the easier it is for us to retain it. So simple. Make the $100 donation to the History Museum. Call them up at that number that I've shown you a bazillion times. And I'll show you again right now. All right? Call them at this number. Have your credit card out. And if you're not comfortable using a credit card, again, they are rock solid folks down there. They're going to safeguard your information. They're going to take that donation securely. But if you say, you know, I don't want to use my credit card, they'll tell you exactly where to mail the check, how to do it, who to make it out to, all that kind of stuff. So however you want to handle it, new school, old school, middle school, whatever, make the donation. Call these folks, okay? And that'll get you entered into the contest. It'll get you a brick, and you'll be making a huge difference to make sure that this incredible museum down in South Bend, Indiana, doesn't end up on that list of permanent closed museums across the country, especially if you're from the South Bend, Indiana area. That's a little bit of a mouthful. If you're from that neck of the woods and you have access to that museum, all the more reason. But even apart from that, all the good you're going to be doing to help them out, plus the brick, plus the contest, plus the unicorn machine from Scott's Workshop. What other incentives do you need? Plus, I'm going to be announcing your name as a legacy person, as a champion, all through this contest. You know what I haven't even covered yet? As I continue to blah, blah, blah. I mean, the contest starts right now. When does the contest end? There's the question. There's the question. And I've checked with some people that I trust a lot as far as how long should we run this contest. 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Oh, let's see. All right. This contest is going to run until the 22nd of February. Monday, the 22nd of February. That's when this ends. Mark it on your calendar. The 22nd of February, which is a Monday. Okay, at midnight. At midnight, it's going to... Whoa. There you are. So you're going to have about 3 weeks to enter this contest. And I hope you do it right away. Don't linger, because, yeah, if you wait until the 22nd and you call the History Museum folks, they're going to write your name down, you're going to get entered in the contest. But by the time the 22nd rolls around, they're very likely, I mean, even in the first week, those bricks are going to run out real quick. And I might be able to get more. I might not be able to get more when I go back to the museum potentially this summer. So make that donation early on so you can get a brick, you can get entered, and you can help these folks out. The sooner the better. Okay? Can you do that? I know you can. All right, let's ring the bell. End of the class. I'm going to be like an infomercial and show you the number one more time. I'll even put my glasses on so I don't misread it. So, to help out my friends down at the History Museum, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, you can call this number right here. Call this number right here and make your secure donation by credit card, by, mailing a check in, whatever you want to do. But I personally would use a credit card to get it done quick and easy. And they're all set up securely to handle that. They're going to respect your privacy. They're going to respect the security of your information that they collect to make that donation a reality. And then, like that, you're entered. Like that, you get one of those bricks. Like that, you help out a great organization. Yeah. That easy. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Do it. All right? Cool. And thank you. Thank you. All right, we got to end with some music instead of me just talking and walking and squawking and all that kind of stuff. All right, get ready. Ready, Mr. Bean? Mr. Bean says, Scott, that's like asking if I like to dance, right? All right, come on, Mr. Bean. You're kind of holding back a little bit there. You're kind of holding back. So again, make that donation first thing on Monday. Today is Sunday. What is it? Sunday the 31st. So Monday morning, February 1st, make that donation right away, because you're only going to have until the 22nd of February to make that donation. Right, Mr. Bean? Mr. Bean, you were like, what did you like? Did you like pull a muscle or something? All right, let me put on some music, see if I can help you out and hook you up. All right. All right, folks, thanks again. 10,000 subscribers. Yeah, baby. Oh, that was a miscue. All right, let's try it again. 10,000 subscribers. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Come on now. Ooh, show it. Show it. Mr. Bean in the house. 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 Yeah. Ooh. That's Mr. Bean right there. All right, everybody. I know you're going to make this happen. 1, 2, 3. Make your donation. Get a brick. Get entered into the contest. Help out the folks in South Bend. I can't rap to save my life. I'm just going to say it. Do what you need to do, okay? Do what you need to do. Yeah. Man, I still can't believe we hit 10,000. Vintage Sewing Machines, 10,000 subscribers? What?